Hi, we're Boy Jump Ship.
And you're listening to Louder on Scratch Radio.
So I'm back here with the guys of Boy Jump Ship. How you guys doing?
Hi.
Very well.
Everybody's here after a short half of the tour already.
Yes.
And I think I haven't seen you since you were touring with Fatherson.
Yeah.
And then you went on a tour with Pen and Pending.
You did.
So I don't like asking how the tour's been going because you're going to refer to it as a generic question and then give me a generic answer. But how about you just give me a fun story from all of those tours? Something that you've learned about yourself, something that you learned about the others. About Si?
So I learned how to crowd surf.
Really?
Yeah.
We've been like one of the nights on Pat and Pen, and Joe came up. Well, he'd been singing the song with us every night, and he came out in Newcastle and he was like, "Si, have you ever crowd surfed before?" I was like, "No." He went, "Today's the day." Like made us jump into the crowd, and that was like a staple of our show every night and stuff. And we got our tech guy up all to play guitar as well, which was great. And that was like one of the highlights of the tour. We had so much fun with them, so it was great.
I see you guys dressed up as them for once.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. That was so funny. We should have said that.
They're all like sort of cartoon characters, aren't they? They've all got their own identity. So
Coloured hair and
like it was only like a week into the tour, and we were like, "Oh, I have to dress up as them like near the end of the tour," you know. And thankfully, they took it really well, you know. Like you hear stories about some bands, like you know, like playing jokes with the other band, and they just don't like it or whatever. But like we got on so well with them, they loved it. You know, it worked out really well, didn't it?
So did they prank you back?
No,
Nah,
they didn't.
they had nothing in the locker, man.
Oh, they did kidnap Paulie Bell.
Oh, they did kidnap.
So they had a spare bunk on their bus, and in Manchester they told us that they were going to kidnap one of us, and they ended up taking Paulie Bell, our guitar tech, and took him for the night, and then we didn't see him until the next day. And he was worse for wear, but he was alive. That was all that mattered.
Okay.
He was alive and breathing, barely.
What do you mean barely? Did they get him drunk or?
Oh yeah,
he was
pregnant.
a shell of his former self.
Pregnant, aye. We got him well drunk, mate. Like he was the worst, probably the worst I've seen him. Like drunk wise, like hungover wise. Sorry. So.
Okay. So at least he's fine and back with you.
He is.
And another scary thing that I'm scared to ask, because the last time we've met, you've mentioned, we've talked about the video for Burn, that you're thinking about bringing it on stage and setting stages on fire. Is it happening now?
Not yet. We need to get to arenas before we do that.
We're setting stages alight, not literally,
But with our performances.
but with our performances, we're setting stages alight. Thanks very much.
So you're still keeping the pyro within you.
Yeah. No, we need to wait till the bigger venues. I've just had to sign a load of forms to say, like, you know, like we're not going to throw stuff into the crowd or crowd surf or anything. So, or no pyro. He said, you know, can you sign this to say you have no pyro? So we're not. Even if we had brought pyro, we wouldn't be allowed to.
What maybe next tour?
Next tour, yeah.
Another thing from your videos, we talked about what was it? Better Days.
Yeah.
And the scary kids of Newcastle.
Yeah.
And I think you set them free again on the video for Lost and Found.
Yes, we did.
Did they take just a random guy from the street and just made him go through a Newcastle version of Saw?
Yeah, he wasn't a random guy. He was like a superhuman. This guy, you saw the flips and the parkour and things like that. The stuff he did off camera.
Yeah, I think he jumped over you, Gav.
Yeah,
He did, man. He'd done that 4 times, and like I was so nervous that like he had to do it 4 times because the first 3 times I was like going oh like that and wincing, and I couldn't keep still, like, and I felt so bad because he was such a nice guy, but he was like, man, he was doing a flip for like 3-4 meters, like it's insane, and like he was just standing doing backflips warming up. The guy was just superhuman, man. He's just different level.
Is he a local as well?
No, he was actually Dutch, but he was in Manchester. We've done it in Manchester, so he's based in Manchester now. But he does like free running and stunts and stuff. He's a super cool guy. Like,
so can we expect more videos to promote the new album?
yes,
Yeah.
hope so. We haven't shot one yet, but we have some ideas in the pipeline. So.
We've been too busy being on the road, so I think as soon as we get home, we'll start getting them gears into motion and getting the video sorted. So.
Can I ask for Night Stories to be the next single?
Is that your favourite?
Made me cry a few times on the way here.
It is.
It's been a popular song on the album, I think, mainly because it's very different to what we've done before. We've always been hell for leather and 100% every time. We've put something on record, and Night Stories is quite different, and it gives it a different dynamic and stuff. So I think that's part of the reason why people like it. But we hope it. You never know. It might be a single further down the line.
And what are you going to do to Gav on the video for that future single?
Well, I'll probably just be running around being an idiot because I don't really do anything for most of the song. So I can probably be doing a flip over Si or something.
And talking about Gav again, I mean, going on the road for a few good days every year. Has he turned less picky with food?
Yes. We were in Leeds last week, and our friend took us out for some Thai food, and the place was like it was like stepping into somewhere in Thailand. It was amazing. It was full of memorabilia, and we actually ate in those little buses. What they're called? Yeah. And so we introduced Gav to a lot of Thai food that he did really well. I was dead proud of it.
I got a fright at one point though because I just started eating my food, and it was someone's birthday, and I'll be honest, I'd never been in a Thai food restaurant before, so the lady who worked there came out and started singing happy birthday and doing it in like a traditional Thai way, it must be, and she was just started screaming and banging a drum at the top of her voice. I literally just picked up my first fork full of food and she went "Whoa!" and started banging the drum, and I was like, totally on edge, totally out of my comfort zone, sitting in.
It didn't help that the little bus. I can't pronounce it like a tuk-tuk. And it didn't help that these moved whenever you. They moved a little bit when you moved, and so like Gav was all over the shop. The noodles were nearly on the floor, But it was good laugh.
Eventful.
Yeah.
I think these just like to laugh at us, or to be honest with you. But we'll get there.
So as long as you're just staying away from Jaffa cakes and try new things.
I love Jaffa cakes, but I try new things, man. But like, you know what I mean? I think they like to just take us out of my comfort zone and go, let's go to a Thai food place and see how Gav reacts, and then just that makes their night.
Variety, man. It's the spice of life, mate.
Well, now you're gonna have a tour in Thailand. They're expecting you.
That'll be great.
They probably told their families about your reaction to their music. So.
That'll be great.
I heard another rumor that one of you is addicted to M&Ms, but not anything but the brown ones.
Oh,
is that true?
Si Todd.
Or is it?
I think in terms of M&Ms, I think we'll pretty much take. That was a long time ago, wasn't it? I think we'll eat anything nowadays. We're a lot less picky. We've dogged it on the road for the best part of 5 weeks without stopping. So I mean, have you got any on you? Have you got any M&Ms?
Not M&Ms. I may or may not have some Jaffa cakes.
Oh man, I love a Jaffa cake.
To be fair, I'll go on record and say I love the brown M&Ms.
So just somehow spiral out of control that you don't like brown M&Ms.
Yeah.
So how did it start though?
I don't know. I don't even know where that came from.
I think it was maybe a very long interview, long time ago in an interview maybe.
I think someone brought up the fact that
we were holding a bowl of M&Ms.
Yeah.
At a festival backstage once, and someone commented saying, "I hope they took all the brown ones out because it was
like a Van
Halen joke," and then I think it came from there. So.
Okay.
One of them.
Apparently Van Halen put it on their rider in order to make sure that the people that were organising the shows were actually reading it, and they asked for all the brown ones taken out, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Van Halen.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like Exo Rose though.
So
that's sort of that kind of like someone of that ilk.
I wouldn't want to be taking like brown M&Ms out because then you're wasting M&Ms. Where's the logic?
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Exactly.
Final question. Last time we've met was just before the album was released. Mm-hmm. Was released just 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And what's going through your head? What are you doing that specific day? I know you had the show at Newcastle the following day. How was it? What were you doing? Hiding or just celebrating everything inside?
That was insane, to be honest with you. The Newcastle show. We made a few steps to make it a bit more special than anything we've done before in Newcastle. We took a bit of production in and stuff, and spent a lot of time making the show like as well as it could be, and working on the set and stuff. So we're really happy with it. But the reaction, when we walked out to play, was the most insane reaction we've had. I think. I mean, we've headlined that room quite a few times and sold it out quite a few times, but something about that night was different, and everyone knew the words to the songs, and the album had been out a day. It was freaky. but it was really, really good. Like,
it's a super busy couple of days, really, wasn't it? Even the day of release. I mean, we played the Newcastle HMV, like inside the shop, and took a big PA and made it like, and played for a bunch of people and stuff in the shop, which was really special. We'd done it before, but we're obviously, we had the album out and things, so we played like a sort of small snapshot of the album for people, and that even that day of release, it just flew over. Our phones were going crazy, and it was just full of excitement. And it was a really special day. Special few days.
So are you guys hiding from the media or checking posts all day long?
We'll chat to anybody about it. I mean, the funny thing about going back to that Newcastle show on the night, in terms of media, we actually got a guy reviewed it and said he enjoyed the show, but he thought it was too polished and rehearsed. Now that show we played had not been rehearsed for about a fortnight, and it was the fact that we just came off tour with Pat and Pendon, which was 16 days on the trot. And then we go straight into the show, and obviously you're going to be well rehearsed. So to play a show that was too well rehearsed, I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing.
He said, he's something like that was the most polished sort of performance he'd ever seen in an Academy 2 from a band of our size, and then kind of flipped it in a slightly bad way. But having said that, he did love the show, and I guess you can take that as a compliment, because
really good review as well.
If we'd have been a little bit sloppy and rough around the edges, like. That's not what we want. We want to give like a perfect show.
Still a positive thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
And plus, it was still very, like, for want of using a cliche phrase, it was still very rock and roll. There was a lot of chaos and people jumping in the crowd and stuff like that. So it wasn't by any means Walder stood still and played. It was like everyone went crazy.
As raucous as you'd normally expect from any of our sort of shows.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've got to mention the album Wake Up that was released just about 2 weeks ago on the 22nd. What's next? Are you already thinking about a new album? Recording some stuff?
Yeah, always thinking ahead to the future. At the moment, I'd say get this tour, once it's finished, get back home, get writing, get demoing, look forward to festival season. Hopefully people will be able to see us in a town or a city near them, and then look ahead to sort of like past festival season into autumn time of the year, where we can get back on the road and start doing other stuff to promote the album a bit further, maybe some more singles down the line, and look ahead as closely as we can to album number 2 as soon as we can. We just want to keep our feet going. We don't want to stop. We want to just keep on running with it and see where it goes.
And of course a video where you torment Gav again.
Yeah. No worries, that's the crack.
I can see some trains moving and maybe you being chained to the railway. Just putting it out there.
Don't give them any ideas, dude. Like,
no, I'll just text them later. Okay, guys, is there anything else you want to add to listeners and fans?
Thank you to you for always coming down and interviewing and being so knowledgeable.
Yes.
Really appreciate it. Questions are great.
My pleasure. Anything to fans? Something they can wait for, or how they can suggest more ideas for videos?
If they've heard the CD and they like what they've heard, they're coming down and see us live. Get in touch. Tell us what you like about it. Tell us what you think we could do better next time, if you think there is something. But no, definitely get down to the show and see what we're about on stage as well.
If you're on the fence, come and see us live, because we pride ourselves on being a live band.
We'll push you off the fence.
We'll push you clean off the fence to one way or the other.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Thanks all.